Good morning or afternoon or whenever you're watching this. Tristan Talks family. Um, Hope all is well. We almost done with the semester here in college. Um, I think it's been about 2, 3 weeks since we last came up on here and talked. And a lot has happened. The government shutdown has ended. And the Senate has appointed, admitted a new senator from Arizona, a Democratic senator which led to the um, releasing of the Epstein emails. Y'all don't want to forget. The thing about the Epstein emails is we as people have to understand that we have the ultimate power in this. The Democrats and the Republicans can release, the Democrats can release these files. The Republicans say can brush it off. But it depends on the American citizen who first has a conscience and who first has critical thinking skills and who first listens and respects women to understand that our president is a sexual predator. And I and it doesn't take, well, not our president, your president, not mine, your president. It doesn't take that much thinking power to realize that. Um Back in July when they first came out, we knew Trump was in them files. We knew, but yet nothing has happened. Nobody, nobody said. I mean, we had people saying stuff, but nobody did anything. So, and then you get these emails of allegedly, like, don't come after me, CIA. This is all allegedly. But then you get these emails saying Putin has pictures of, come on now, like, your president is DLN a sexual predator? We must understand that these files will make American history. And what Trump is trying to do is he's trying to brush it off and make it normal, something fun that like this is normal for a president to do. He's trying to change how people look at a president. Not around here, partner. We not we not doing that. First, you vote for a president who has 34 counts of sexual assault. And then you release these files. They release these files knowing that the president is in them, and yet you still get behind them. Something's going on. But all I'm saying is that it's up to the American people to realize how pivotal these files are and how important these files are. Because the president of the United States is a sexual predator. You wouldn't let a sexual predator in your house. So don't let a sexual predator run the country, if you understand what I'm saying. Or you wouldn't let a sexual predator around some kids. So don't let it run the country. I'm just making sure y'all thinking, because I'm just making sure y'all here, y'all with me, because is these files are gonna make history, and either they're gonna look at the history majors and historians in the future are gonna look at how the citizens reacted to these files, and we got to do something about it. I don't know what, but we got to do something. We got to and we can't just wait till the next election where where we elect a Harris or a Biden. Nothing's gonna change. The change starts from the bottom, not from the top. But that gets into my segment about like conservatism and republicanism. Me personally, it's a false ideology. You, I mean, going back to the Epstein files, your president is a sexual offender, but it's okay because he's Republican. Do you see what I'm saying? He's a sexual offender. Like they rebranded the idea of republicanism and conservatism to fit their narrative. Do you see what I'm saying? So I mean, let's think about the Civil War. You know me. I'm always gonna go into the history. Let me get some water first. Let's think about the Civil War. The Union and Confederacy, two main differences. The Union wanted to get rid of slavery. The Confederacy wanted to keep slavery. Now, you can picture that into today's society. What side do you think in your mind, what side, if we switched it out and we have Republicans today go back in the Civil War and Democrats today go back in the Civil War, what side would you think the Republicans be on? The Confederacy. And what side do you think the Democrats be on? The Union. It's no different. The same people who wants to keep you as slaves call themselves Republicans and and conservatives and right wingers. And then we think it's okay when they want to take away these human rights just because they're Republicans. It doesn't work that way. I mean, you wouldn't let a Nazi come in your home and start spitting Nazism or nonsense. It's the same thing with Republicanism. These Republicans say they hate everyone. They hate Muslims. I mean, look at the government shutdown. They didn't want to open it because they wanted to keep these poor people poor. They didn't want to feed these children. But they're just Republicans. Oh, okay. Make sure I'm not tripping. Well, I mean, the Republicans are these crazy and radical takes, and I'm not going to say every Republican or conservative is like that. I mean, I've met a couple conservatives who are who have a brain, but today's MAGA Republicans that you see are out. They're gone. They're far too gone. I mean, they hate everyone. I mean, you should have saw them when Zohran Mandami got elected. White America has when Barack Obama got elected. Not even Zoran, Barack. White America has gone, said by Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell. We're gonna make him a one-term president, said by Mitch McConnell, senator, a Republican senator. What do you mean white America has gone because you elected a black person? These are the same people that are Republicans, and that I mean, it's just the biggest rebrand in history. It's just I mean, I gotta applaud them because you have these platforms and you have these policies about getting rid or doing away with whatever or just attacking basic human rights, but it's just because you're a Republican. It's crazy to me. um but let's go back to John C. Calhoun, who was a political theorist around the 18 late 1800s of the slave-holding South. His political party at the time was a Democrat. The party switched under FDR. Make sure y'all understand that. The party switched under FDR. Democrats and Republicans mean two different things, but it switched. And he had a pretty big influence on modern right-wing thinking. So John C. Calhoun, who was a political theorist about holding slaves in the South, had a influence on modern right-wing thinking. Let me say that again. John C. Calhoun, political theorist of slaveholding South, had an influence on modern right-wing thinking, but they're just Republicans. It's okay. Barry Goldwater, senator from in during the Civil Rights Movement, a Republican senator during the Civil Rights era, he said some rights are clearly protected by valid laws and therefore civil rights. He also declared that states' rights were disappearing under the pilling sands of absolutism and called Brown v. Board unconstitutional, a trespass into the legislative sphere of government. Let's do a couple of research. Brown v. Board, it outlawed segregation in schools. And I mean, I can see his argument that it's kind of attacking states' rights, but at the same time, it's an unconstitution to. I mean, Plessy v. Ferguson was unconstitutional. Dred Scott was unconstitutional. But rewriting and redoing Dred Scott and Plessy v. Ferguson is unconstitutional with Brown v. Board. You just didn't want them black kids in the white school. I'm just being real. He just didn't want them black kids in the white schools because social Darwinism. You can go back to social Darwinism, thinking that white folks was better than black people. based off of evolution, that white folks grew faster than black people, and therefore they black folks were subjugated to being lesser than the white person. That's social Darwinism. It's the same thing with desegregation. You don't think black people are smart enough to sit in these white schools, therefore you call Brown v. Board unconstitutional, even though you claim that civil rights are valid laws, but you claim it's unconstitutional for these kids to go to school together. Barry Goldwater, Republican senator, the same Republicans that say they're working for you and they're doing for you are the it comes from the same people from the civil rights era and John C. Calhoun from the late 1800s, slaveholding South, and you called Brown v. Ford unconstitutional. It is this idea of nullification, the nullification of states' rights. I mean, I know we learned that in American history, but we're trying to nullify states' rights. And so you give the states more power to do whatever they want. I mean, the same thing with the Compromise of 1877 when President Grant uh, instilled the Enforcement Acts to stop the KKK from going into these states and terrorizing black folks. 7 years later, 7 years later, 7 years later, the Compromise of 1877, President Hayes gets rid of all that and gets rid of the National Guard in these states so the KKK can attack black folks. The same people who say they are Republicans are trying to murder black people. Were trying to murder black people. I mean, we can talk about that another time. There still are, but we can talk about that another time. I mean, let's talk about it right now. I mean, with Charlie Kirk, when he got shot in Utah, it was by another white man. Who did they attack? The HBCUs. There was threats to HBCUs, and yet it was a white on white crime, and you want to attack black people. Just think about it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Maybe I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But let's like, I mean, even in 2016, Trump said that he won the popular vote, even though he did not. He did not win the popular vote. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. But he clearly said if you deduct the millions of people who voted illegally, he won the popular vote. This is just saying he's trying to undermine people. He doesn't think people of color exist. Same Republicans who say they love you, who say they work for you. I'm not even talking to white people at this point. I'm talking to the Uncle Ruckuses and the ignorant black folks who are who support the MAGA movement. In 2016, he didn't even think y'all existed. A moment of silence for y'all, just so I could think. He didn't even think y'all existed. He wanted to write these people out of politicity and use every available tool to weaken influence on American politics. I mean, the Republican Party wants to nullify democratic elected government governing coalitions. They want to nullify it. Nullify means weaken it, which is just it's an extreme political combat. I mean, and it comes into fruition from human bondage, slavery. But that's another topic for another time. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that. I swear y'all don't want to hear that. But so it's probably just like for me, I'm gonna end it here. We've got this last page we're gonna end it on. That hatred for your existence is a political ideology. Republicans hate you. Donald Trump didn't know you existed back in 2016, but it's a political ideology. And we act like there is anything political about what's going on, anything logistical, anything intellectually about their arguments. Their arguments are insane. We watch the Jubilee 20v1s and we hear these fascists saying proudly claims that he's a fascist, and yet we get behind him. Maybe I don't know what fascism means, but I mean, there's no political debate for someone who doesn't believe that you don't have the right to exist. You can't debate them. If they don't know you exist, or if they don't know, they don't believe you have the right to exist, what's the point? It's the same folks who say they're right wing and Republicans. And the same thing about the left. The left doesn't have anything for us. They don't have anything better for you either. I mean, it's the same left who won't, the same white left who won't look you in the eyes or sit you down in their table. It's the same people who won't address what the country has done to people like me and you, to people like me and you. Make sure you understand that. Same people, but like they have this color blindness, like, and when you're in the room, you're just American, and everyone faces the same issues. You're just American. But when you leave the room, suddenly it's like you're a dirty black immigrant from Africa, or you're a dirty black, or you're a dirty Latino immigrant. But when you're in the room, you're American. They're not looking out for you either. I mean, a country that is needed to make a distinction between America and Black America is telling you exactly how they feel about you. It's no left or right split in this country. It is white supremacy, imperialism, colonialism. And all I'm saying, I'm going to end it here. And you do not need to be white to be a white supremacist. We see that today with these black MAGA Republicans. Tim Scott, white supremacist, but he's black as me. Herschel Walker, white supremacist, but he's black as me. Uncle Ruckus, if y'all want to go to animate it, white supremacist, but he's black as me. All I'm saying is that none of these political parties have what you have in mind. If they don't know you exist, or if they don't, if they believe that you don't have the right to exist, there's there's nothing they can do to help you. I digress. Anyways, that's it for today. Peace. Stay safe. Love.